Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Warning: this video will contain spoilers for the Tom King comic, Gotham City, Year 1. This video may also contain discussions and/or images of violence, sexual situations, and drug use. Viewing beyond this point is a choice you have made, and you take responsibility for that choice. Thank you, and please have a nice day.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone's doing alright. I hope everyone's having fun, and I hope the universe is treating you fairly. Today's video we are going to be talking about another Tom King Batman title. Don't worry, there are no Looney Tunes in this one. This is a straight Batman title. It's Gotham City Year 1. It was originally released as 6 issues. It was, after the 6 issues came out, it was compiled into a graphic novel, which is very good. It is a very, very well done story. The art is exceptional. Phil Haster does the art, and this is one of those wonderful cases like Frank Miller's Electra Assassin, in which the art and the story are a wonderful union, a wonderful, wonderful marriage. This comic takes place 2 generations before Bruce Wayne's birth. It deals with his grandfather, Richard Bruce Wayne, his mom, Constance Wayne, and their daughter, Helen Wayne. The narrator of our story is one Samuel Bradley, nicknamed Slam Bradley, because evidently he is just one hell of a hand fighter, hand-to-hand fighter. He's supposed to be this badass, though the through most of the story he's the one getting his ass handed to him. But we find out near the end it's because when he goes full on psycho. So a lot of times he'll take an ass whipping just to keep from killing a hoe. There's also a character of Susan LaRue, or Sue LaRue. It is not explicitly stated, but it is inferred that this is possibly Selena Kyle's grandmother. And basically what happens is, the start of our story, our boy Sam is sitting in his office. He's a straight out of the movies, straight out of the pulp novels PI. He is your Sam Spade type PI. He's also biracial, which comes into play because this story takes place, it's set in 1962. He gets away with what he gets away with because he has predominantly Caucasian features. Everyone thinks he's white. Therefore, his black heritage is overlooked by the racist because he appears white and he doesn't tell him any different, because he understands that that's how you get one over on the racists. We find out in the story, he has a half-brother. His half-brother was beaten to death by the Gotham City Police Department for the crime of being black. And that's pretty much it. It's not laid out in those exact words. Basically, a minor theft of food item because he was starving. Gotham City Police Department took him in, interrogated him, and he wound up dead. Or as Sam says, he went into the police department and never came out. But yeah, this theft was a minor thing, and this theft and the death of his half brother is pretty much what made Sam realize that he needed to lean into his father's heritage. His mom does the whole tarot card thing in the south side of Gotham, or the slums of Gotham. He fought in the Korean War. He's a Korean War veteran. He was a Gotham City police officer, and he got kicked off the force for basically beating the shit out of one of his coworkers, because one of his coworkers took the life of a suspect and health of a suspect who happened to be black for granted. Just kind of blew him off like, whatever, he's from the south side, which in this story, the south side of Gotham is where the poor white trash, the blacks, the Latinos and stuff live. And the north side of Gotham is where the rich white people live. Basically, our boy Sam is sitting in his office, and he gets approached by a very attractive woman, very attractive Negro woman, or black woman. They use Negro through the comic, though in this day and age that term is considered racist, but they're not using the word that was used in America in 1962 for black people. I imagine that was an editorial choice, a smart editorial choice at that. But this very attractive, very, very educated black woman comes in, basically like, here's an envelope, I need you to deliver it. I'm being hired to give you this envelope for you to take it to Richard Wayne, and here's $100 for your troubles. 1962, $100 was a lot of money. Sam takes it to the Wayne estate, takes it to Wayne Manor, and we get to narrate. We get his internal monologue plus what he's saying and stuff. He goes there, finds out one of his ex-coworkers had retired from the police department and started a security firm. It was providing security for Richard Wayne. They go in, he delivers the note. Richard Wayne reads it, has Sam taken down to the meat locker, and they pummel the shit out of him. Because they can, and they suspect he might be in league with the kidnappers. This is where we find out that Helen Wayne, Richard and Constance daughter has been kidnapped. They haven't said anything to the police or anything because they want to keep this on the down low. So when they figure out that, after beating him senseless several times, they let him leave. Evidently, $100 in, like I said, 1962 is good money, but I don't know if it's worth the ass whippings he took to earn it. And we go through this back and forth. This black courier says that her name is Sue. So we go back and forth. We go through, then it is at the point in which we find out that the narration and stuff that we're reading is actually Sam. He's 92 years old. He's infirmed. He's in bed, basically telling his life story to Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne is in his Batman persona. And Sam had figured out a long time ago who the Batman was. And this story enlightens you how he figured it out. So we find out that he's narrating his life, this story to Batman, and Batman is all ears. Batman wants to know about his past. Because to the best of his knowledge, his father, Thomas Wayne, was an only child. Because his grandfather had committed suicide, or at least that's what the official story was, that Richard Wayne had committed suicide. We go through this back and forth. They ransom notes. Finally, Sam and Richard go. They're going to deliver $100,000. $100,000 in unmarked bills, small bills. The ransom notes that they've been getting are all real horrible English. Just bad sentence structure, bad punctuation, bad grammar, just the whole nine. And they all seem to have been coming out of the South Side. So they take the $100,000 to a drop-off point. And lo and behold, it's Sue that's there to get the money. Sue takes the money, pieces out, jumps from rooftop to rooftop, just easy, just boom, boom. Cat-like, you would say. Kind of Sam's word. She's very feline in her movements and this and that, and she lands, she waves to him. She's like basically smiling, going, "Peace out, dude." And she goes. They get the final note where they're supposed to find the baby. Guess what? They don't find the baby. Helen Wayne is nowhere to be found. Richard Wayne goes nuts. He loses his shit at this point. Sam basically knocks him out, throws him in the car. They go back to Wayne Manor. Sam has had as much as he can stand at this point. He is fed the fuck up. He dumps Richard off, and he tells the goons, like his security detail, like, "Look, I know you want to beat me up, but I'm not in the mood to play those silly little games. You come at me, I'm going to kill you. I'm going back to my office. He can call the cops on me. I don't give a damn. He can do whatever. But at least let me get a good night's sleep." He goes back. He wakes up the next morning. He's in his office, and Constance Wayne comes in. we find out here that the Waynes are hemorrhaging money. That the only reason why Richard Wayne has the perceived wealth that he does is because her family has a considerable amount of money. And evidently Richard's father hemorrhaged a ton-ass money, and Richard was hemorrhaging money, just blowing it, just gone. Not knowing where it's going, just gone. She's like, look, I'm a mother. Mothers have these instincts. I know my baby's dead. I know Helen is dead. Just find the body, give me some closure, and we're good. Here's $10,000 to use however you need to use to get this job done. And by the way, don't tell my husband. Peace. And she burns. She burns off. And we go through the investigation. He eventually finds Helen Wayne's body wrapped up in her baby's blanket. He returns the body. Actually, he calls the cops. He's smart enough not to fuck with the crime scene. So he calls the cops. They do what they're going to do. The Waynes get the body back. Richard Wayne is pissed. And we have another Sam getting the shit beat out of him round. And he's holding back. He does enough. He fights enough not to get seriously hurt. At the end of the fight, he has a gun. Wayne's chief of security has a gun. He's like, look, dude, I'm leaving. You're not going to do a damn thing about it. Just like before. If you're going to have me arrested or whatever, wait in the morning. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go to the house, and I'm going to get a good night's sleep. The whole reason for that whole confrontation was Richard Wayne noticed the $10,000 being gone, missing. And he's a misogynist. He tends to do things like spousal abuse, uses Constance for a punching bag. There's a scene where he basically calls her a whore and a slut and all kinds of things. So he goes home. He gets cleaned up from the fight, and he's getting ready to go to bed, and there's a knock at his door. And he's like, oh, fuck me. What is this shit? So he answers his door, and it's Constance. She tells him, like, look, you can call me Connie. I like you. I have things you want, and I'm going to give them to you tonight, and you can call me Connie. Just don't do it around my husband because he'll use me as a punching bag. And they have sex. And we get this is where we get the lowdown about the Waynes being just tearing through cash. It's hemorrhaging money. And that her family's the one propping him up right now. That Richard Wayne's not the best with money. And and they go into what his plans are. He's making a big publicity thing out of their daughter's death and all this stuff. Then we have some passage of time. We have some minor story details going on. And we also find out that Richard Wayne had been having sex with Sue LaRue and impregnated her. and was planning on running off with her. That's the whole ransom thing was set up so she could have the money and take off. Then he could divorce Constance and join her. But something happened and the baby died. We find out that on the night that Richard and Sam went to pay the money, the hostage or the kidnapping money, the ransom, Constance followed them, and she actually found the child in a crib, and the child had died. Sudden infant death. Choked on its own saliva or something. And basically, she's the one that took the body and hid the body where it would be found. She knew about Richard's affair. And it turns out, in the climax of the story, she had found his hiding place, which was a cave under Wayne Manor, in which he had his trophies. He had lingerie, panties, bras, things, trophies from the women that he had, the women that he had affairs with. And she winds up shooting Richard. We find out that she was pregnant, and we're kind of led to believe that Sam is the daddy. At the conclusion, she brings a 5 or 6 year old Thomas Wayne into Sam's office. It says, like, look, he's soft. Tough him up for a little bit for me. So now, some of the implications to this is, okay, and not only does this make Bruce Wayne a Wayne in name only, this makes Selina Kyle a Wayne, a genetic Wayne, a Wayne by blood. And if you go with the Jeff Loeb Long Halloween and Dark Victory, she's also a Falcone. And in the general accepted Batman thing, Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne always hook up, and sometimes they have kids, sometimes they don't, sometimes, but any progeny they would have would be Falcone Wayne Arkham, because Martha Wayne was an Arkham. And a writer, somebody like Matt Reeves could have the skill to weave this into his Batman universe, because he's pulled so much from some of the more recent Batman comics into his Batman universe, the Batman and the Penguin so far, that something like this would be just this awesome twist of craziness. And I believe personally that Matt Reeves has the skill to do something like that. I would highly, highly recommend reading this. It is a good noir story. It's, like I said, it's you can drop. This is one of those stories, kind of like the Penguin show, where you can drop all the Batman and have Sam just telling the audience or somebody else the story, and you could take the name Wayne, Gotham, you can sit at New York or whatever, and the story is a good, solid story. Like I said, I highly, highly recommend it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here, everybody. Take care. Be safe. Be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.